Hi class, in this video we are going to continue our discussion regarding sketching or sketch the graph of rational functions. So here are the summaries or the terms that you are going to find in your the graph of your rational function and how to do it. So please take note of that. And then let's proceed now to our example number 2. Let's try to sketch the graph of f of x is equal to x minus 2 over x plus 2. So to sketch the graph of this f of x, let's first identify the domain. So to identify the domain, as you all know, any values could be substituted to your domain or can be input in your function. However, there is a restriction, and this restriction will be taken from your denominator. So you have to equate your denominator. So you will have x plus 2 is equal to 0, which is equal to x is equal to negative 2. And this x equal to negative 2 is already your vertical asymptote. So, ang domain mo dito will be x such that x is a set of real number where x is not equal to negative 2, or negative infinity, negative 2, union of negative 2, positive infinity. Next, how about y-intercept? Let's see. What is the y-intercept? When you say y-intercept, that is a point which is 0, y. So obviously, dito your x is 0, so therefore you will let your x be equal to 0. So what you're going to do is just evaluate your function to 0. So you will have f of 0 is equal to 0 minus 2 over 0 plus 2. And 0 minus 2 is equal to negative 2, while 0 plus 2 is 2. So what is negative 2 over 2? That is equal to negative 1. So f of 0 is equal to negative 1, or y is equal to negative 1. So therefore, your y-intercept is equal to 0, negative 1. Next, let's have the x-intercept or yung 0 natin. So to find the x-intercept, madali na lang to kasi you only have to equate your numerator. So x minus 2 equal to 0. Simplify natin. So you will have x is equal to 2. So this is actually your 0. It is the value of your x that would make your function equal to 0. While our x-intercept is 0, or rather 2, 0. This is your x-intercept. Ito yung point na kung saan, in this specific point in your x-axis, your graph will intersect. And let's have the vertical asymptote. So, tulad lang din po ng pag-solve natin sa domain kanina, to get the vertical asymptote, you just have to equate your denominator, x plus 2 into 0. So, to solve that, you will have negative 2 as your vertical asymptote. Then, we have also our horizontal asymptote. So our horizontal asymptote can be taken when we try to compare the n or the degree of our numerator and the degree of our denominator. And for this case, mapapansin mo na 1, 1 lang naman po ang degree ng ating numerator and denominator. So our n is equal to d, and ayon sa ating napag-aralan in our previous video, when n and d are equal, you will use or you will try to solve. You can solve for your y by getting the leading coefficient of your numerator, dividing it by the leading coefficient of your denominator. So, solution, y is equal to a over b. And ang a natin ay 1. Ayan. And ang ating b ay also 1. So, therefore, that is 1 over 1, which is equal to 1. So, ang ating horizontal asymptote is 1. Ayan. So, before we construct our table of signs, let's try to sketch yung mga nakuha natin kanina na mga information. So, first one, base sa mga nakuha nating information kanina, is that meron daw po tayong vertical and horizontal asymptote. So, balikan natin ang ating vertical ay horizontal ay y is equal to 1 and ang ating vertical is negative 2. So, balik tayo sa sketch. That is negative 2x. So, dito yan. Vertical natin. So, draw lang tayo ng imaginary line as representation of our vertical line. X is equal to negative 2 and our y is y is positive 1. So, ito yon, positive 1. Ayan. So, this is the graph of y is equal to positive 1. Now, let's plot naman yung points ng ating x and y-intercept. So, x-intercept natin is 2, 0, and our y-intercept is 0, negative 1. Balik tayo sa ating sketch. 2, 0, ito yon. This is the plot of 2, 0, and 0, negative 1. Ito yon. Yung ating 0, negative 1. Ayan, meron na tayong graph or na-plot na natin yung ating mga points at nai-draw na natin yung ating lines, yung vertical and horizontal asymptote natin. Now, let's assign our table of signs. So, to get the table of signs, we have to solve for our x or numerator and denominator. So, gagawin natin, equate natin tong ating numerator and denominator. So, mangyayari ay magiging x minus 2 equal to 0. So, our x here is equal to negative 2, while here x is x plus 2. Rather, this should be positive na. So, dito, x plus 2 equal to x equal to negative 2. Ito yung magsiset ng ating boundaries. So, therefore, kung meron tayo number line, ito yung ating negative 2, ito yung ating 2. So, ito yung magiging boundaries natin. So, magre-represent tayo ng numbers, negative infinity and negative 2. Then, negative 2 between positive 2. And we have also positive 2 to positive infinity. Or, in terms of x, pwede mo siyang gawin as x is less than negative 2. Then, ito is x is greater than negative 2, less than positive 2. And last, x is greater than 2. So, pwede yang maging representation mo for your interval. So, construct na tayo ng ating table of signs. So, ang ating tables of signs ay mahati sa 3. Ayan, 1, 2, 3. So, first interval natin is yung x is less than negative 2. And we have the negative 2, ay x is greater than negative 2 but less than positive 2. And last, we have x is greater than 2. Then, kakaroon tayo ng test points. Test points. So, bigay lang tayo ng value ng x that is less than negative 2. So, that is negative 3. And value of x that is between negative 2 and 2. That is 0. And we have lastly, x is equal to positive 3. So, isa-isahin natin yung ating numerator and denominator and let's solve for the sign of the whole equation. Then, let's have the idea or the graph of the behavior of the graph. So, una, yung ating numerator na x minus 2. So, x minus 2, pag nag-substitute po tayo ng ating negative sa x minus 2, Nag-substitute tayo ng negative. Ano magiging sagot? Negative. Then, pag 0 naman, 0 minus 2, that is negative again. Then, 3 minus 2, positive ang sign. Next, dun tayo sa denominator na x plus 2. So, x plus 2 natin, negative 3 plus 2, that is negative. Then, you have 0 plus 2, magiging positive ang sign. Then, 3 plus 5, positive ang sign. Then, yung buo nating rational function na x minus 2 over x plus 2. So, that is negative divided by negative. Obviously, positive. Then, negative divided by positive. That is negative. And lastly, we have positive times divided by positive. That is positive. So, meron tayong positive. So, therefore, above x-axis. Then, negative below x-axis. And above x-axis. So, ang ating mga values ay negative 3, 0, 3. Punta na tayo sa ating values. Sabi dito, your negative 3 is above x-axis. Ito yung ating ito yung ating mga boundaries based from our horizontal and vertical asymptote. So, therefore, ang graph natin pag ganyan, ang dulo, and ito yung dulo ng arrow. Above siya. So, most likely, ang graph natin, nandyan banda. Ayan. Try ko lang mag-sketch. Ayan, itsura. Next one, sabi, is that, dun sa ating 0, x is 0, below x-axis daw siya, then bigla siyang sa 3 above x-axis. So, 0, ito yung ating 0, no? Ito. So, below. So, ito ay papunta dyan, pababa. Dapat, or sabihin natin na pababa. Then, ano mangyayari? Yung ating 2, 0, based from ating 2, 0, 3 na, no? 3, nasa above daw siya. So, dito banda yan. Dapat tataas siya. Above x-axis, nandito banda. So, dapat ang behavior mo ay pag ganito. Ayan. So, if you connect the dots, ayan. I-connect mo lang yan, yung iyong graph. Ganito daw ang magiging sketch ng iyong rational function na f of x is equal to x minus 2 over x plus 2. Now, let's try to check ito sa ating Geogebra. Sa ating Geogebra, we are going to substitute yung ating, or type natin yung ating y is equal to x again. So, that is minus 2 plus 2. Ayan daw po ang itsura niya. So, again, ang sabi doon, ang ating x is equal to, yung ating vertical asymptote is x is equal to negative 2. Ayan yung graph. Change lang natin ng color. Then, ang atin daw pong y is equal to 1. Tama po ba yun? Y is equal to 1. Tama? Y is equal to 1. Yan. Okay. Then, meron tayong mga points kanina. Meron tayong 0, negative 1, and 2, 0. Tingnan natin kung nandun ba siya sa points. 2, 0, and 0, negative 1. Ayan. Let's check now our graph for y is equal to x minus 2 over x plus 2. Let's check this graph. So, ayan po, mapapansin mo na ito yung mga points natin kanina. Then, ayon sa ating table of signs, ayan nga, nasa above nga po yung ating, in terms of negative 3. So, nasa above siya ng ating x-axis. And then, nasa below yung part ng 0. Pero, tumaas siya ng part ng 3. So, that's it po when you sketch the graph or when you check it in your Geogebra. Now, let's try to solve for our range. So, f of x is equal to x minus 2 over x plus 2. Para mas mabilis mo siyang ma-solve yung range mo, pwede mo siyang pagbasihan yung sketch. Yung sketch ng iyong graph. So, obviously, sa graph mo, as your x increases, or as it approach your positive infinity, it will just get closer to a specific line which is y is equal to 1. Tulad lang din ito, as your y, the value of your x rather is approaching to negative infinity, mapapansin mo that your y or your graph approaches your y is equal to 1 line. So therefore, you can say that the limitation or the restriction of your range is y such that y is an element of a real number where y is not equal to 1, or that is negative infinity 1 union of 1 positive infinity. So that's it po for our example number